it is not just about getting married. When you are done getting married, please, you guys should create a prayer altar. Not just a prayer altar, but make sure you are always taking your family members for deliverance. Take your wife, your children for deliverance. There should be a system of prayer in your house. There should be a period of prayer in your house, a period whereby you all go for deliverance, fasting, and prayer, because this will help go a long way. And it's not just about going to church. Make sure you look for a Bible believing church where they do deliverance all the time, because it is for your own good. This message actually is basically for men who have wives that are, you have a wife that is jovial. She loves associating with everybody. She loves, when they give her this, you eat. When they give her this, you take. This kind of ladies. If you have that person, if you observe her in terms of when you want to get married and you discover that that is the kind of person she is, you make sure you advise her to be careful. Not everywhere you see, you eat. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I've come to discover something, that most of these situations most men go through is being orchestrated by some agents of darkness. And now, this thing I'm about to tell you, it is majorly for people who probably live in an environment where, there's this cooperation where people associate with each other, they embrace each other, they talk, this, that, that kind of environment where you stay. And even if it's a place where you have the rich folks and all that, but there's this cooperation, they are friendly, they love themselves, they do this, they do that. You need to tell your wife to be careful with the way she collects food from her fellow women, especially if it's a compound where they stay. Because sometimes there are some set of women, what they do is the moment they come in contact with you, some of them are not actually complete human. Their mission is to demonize their fellow women. Now, when they demonize this woman as an initiator, or they just look for ways to possess her with a spirit. Now, that spirit, what that spirit does is they destroy finances. That is why there's a specific set of ladies that you notice that when you marry them, everything might be going on well. Then all of a sudden, you notice situations around you will turn upside down. Now, it is not their fault at times. It is because of the kind of people they have started mingling with, the kind of friends. It will not necessarily be their fellow lady and all that. It could be a mature lady that may just see them and, look at them, smile with them, make them their friend, and all of a sudden, they will be looking for ways to feed them, always giving them food. They'll cook and bring, cook and bring. Now, those things you see them bring most of the time, it's not usually food. It is something they use in initiating those ladies. And when they initiate your wife into anything or bewitch her, now they have infiltrated your privacy. They have demonized her to start working against you automatically. That is where you see that all of a sudden your finances will just go down. Everything about you, even if you used to be a big boy when you got married and all that. I know fine, some of them are as a result of spiritual husband, blah blah blah. There are people in the environment that are witches, and what they do is they take their time to demonize their fellow women. It's like a carcass. And this thing, when they start it, they don't just um they don't just end there. They do that continuously. The more people come, the more they demonize them, the more people come. And this thing keeps circulating, keeps circulating, keeps circulating. Those ladies will not just frustrate you, they make the life of their kids miserable. That is where you see yourself struggling. And that is why you will not blame your wife. I'm not trying to ruin your relationship or marriage. You will not blame her. The only thing you need to do here is if she's a jovial person. If you're not married yet, if your wife is jovial, all you need to do is tell her, be careful with how you eat. Be careful with gifts. It is accept that person, you trust that person, your intuition, you are sure of who that person is, because a lot of them will camouflage as normal people, but in reality they are not normal. There's nothing normal about them. Once they infiltrate your privacy, Otilo, they would not just ruin your life, they will scatter your marriage. That's when you see that all of a sudden you will no longer have interest in your wife, because they are not just doing this against you, they're also doing it against the lady, because they don't this is a witchcraft orchestration. And what they do is they don't just ruin you, they also ruin the lady's life, because at the end of the day you will no longer want to be around her. You want to stay far from her because you see her as a bad luck for you. And these are the goals of this occultic, the demonic witches and warlocks. This is what they do to their husbands. They, first of all, the moment they initiate the lady, they make her destroy the man's finance. So these are the reasons why, as a man, even if you are married and it's long, and you people are going through financial issues, make sure you people are always, I'm not saying it is everybody that is experiencing this. I'm not saying because you are going through poverty or something that it now means that this is what is the issue. No. I'm just telling you there are places all over Nigeria. These are the things they do, and they use it to, initiate so many ladies. You think you are dealing with a normal human being, you not even know that that one don't go far. So it is just an advice to make sure you have a prayer altar. Even if you don't have a prayer altar in your house, you make sure once in a while, like once every 2-3 months, or even more than that, or even probably every month, there should be a period where you take your family to, for prayer and fasting, because it is necessary. A word is enough for the wise. I wish you all the best. Keep being a blessing. Peace.